source of lycopene. So how about vegetable oil? Generally, vegetable oil such as corn oil, olive oil, and also safflower oil generally have low amount of carotenoid, which is the amount less than 100 ppm. Exception is crude palm oil, where you can see from this table, crude palm oil has a lot of carotenoid, around 500 to 700 ppm. And besides carotenoid, crude palm oil also a good source for vitamin E, which are tocopherol and tocotrienol. That's why palm oil has been known as a world's richest natural plant source of carotenoid. So what kind of carotenoid that we get from red palm oil? So you can see here, red palm oil has carotenoid from in the form of alpha and beta carotene, mostly where each contribute 41%. Okay, how about retinol equivalent of red palm oil compared with other food? So of course, animal, especially in this example, fish liver oil is a good source for vitamin A. And we also get carotene from fruit and vegetable. So you can see that here, red palm oil has 30,000 retinol equivalent. And this amount actually 15 more higher as compared to carrot, 300 times more than tomato, and 4 to 44 times more higher than leafy green vegetable. So how about palm oil, refined palm oil? Do we get carotenoid? So from here you can see, unfortunately, refined palm oil that have been used most Malaysian do not have carotene. This is due to the process from red palm oil into refined palm oil, where nearly almost all carotenoid already lost. However, tocopherol and tocotrienol still maintained in the refined palm oil, only 50% loss. Actually, how much vitamin A that we need? Based on recommended nutrient intake for Malaysian in 2017, have shown that in adult, men or women, or even in adolescent, we need around 600 microgram per day vitamin A. And the amount should be higher for those who are pregnant and also in lactation. As I mentioned that carotenoid, not all carotenoid can be changed into vitamin A. And beta carotene actually one of the most active provitamin, means that in order to get 1 microgram vitamin A, we need 2 microgram carotene from supplement. But if you take beta carotene from diet, you need even higher. This could be due to the other component that present in your food, maybe fiber. That's why the bioavailability of carotene in diet slightly lower compared when you take carotenoid, beta carotene from supplement. And other type of carotenoid that also have provitamin, which are alpha carotene and beta cryptoxanthin. Even you need more because the conversion is less efficient compared to beta carotene. Okay, it is also important to discuss the absorption, the bioavailability of the carotenoid from our food, because there is no point if you consume food that has a lot of carotenoid, but at the end your body cannot digest, cannot absorb, and have poor bioavailability. So you can see here, dietary fiber such as pectin, guar gum reduce the absorption of carotenoid, whereas by adding fat, maybe in the form of salad dressing, cooking oil, or maybe added whole egg in your meal, it also can enhance the absorption of carotenoid from food, maybe from vegetable. And actually, in order to absorb carotenoid, we also need the same metabolism with digestion of fat. If you have problem to digest fat, you also have problem to digest and absorb carotenoid as well. Heat also reduce carotenoid content. However, it will help to increase bioavailability. And study also will show that bioaccessibility of carotenoid from fruits are better than vegetable. I guess this could be due to the presence of fiber in vegetable in higher amount, and also the presence of anti-nutrient that will inhibit the absorption of carotenoid from vegetable. Other factors such as age, where usually when we become older, the efficiency of our body to absorb nutrient become less. Okay, carotenoid are generally non-toxic even when we take in high doses as purified supplement. This is different with vitamin A. As we know that vitamin A, similar like vitamin D, among the most toxic vitamin. And even though I mentioned here that carotenoid generally non-toxic, but there is a few exceptions which I will explain in my next slide, in my later slide. So what are the role of carotenoid in health? Carotenoid in plant, they need carotenoid to get energy through photosynthesis with the presence of sunlight. And plant also need carotenoid to protect them from photo damage. Okay, generally this picture show the role of carotenoid in our health. So you can see that various studies have shown that carotenoid can be used as a treatment for malaria, for brain injury, depression. It also been used to prevent Alzheimer, leukemia, and some study also show that it can act as a chemo prevention for certain type of cancers, such as prostate cancer, colon, breast, and liver cancer. And carotenoid also will influence our immune system, where this study, several studies have shown that it can reduce the inflammation which related to many diseases. And I searched through literature, quite many studies show or study the effect of carotenoid as anti-cancer agent. So this picture show the possible mechanism how carotenoid can act as an anti-cancer agent, where through antioxidant, it can inhibit INOS and COX-2, and also it will enhance apoptosis. Apoptosis actually is a form of programmed cell death naturally in our bodies. This is the mechanism how our body get rid abnormal cell or maybe unnecessary cell. So since palm oil only have alpha and beta carotene, my next slide, I just only focus on the health effect or the benefit that we get from alpha and beta carotene. As I mentioned earlier, beta carotene is the most active provitamin A. So the role of beta carotene from palm oil related with the role as a vitamin A, for example, like to support vision, immune function, supporting cell growth, and fetal development. And the role of beta carotene as a precursor for vitamin A will be discussed is more detailed in the another speaker. And besides having a provitamin activity, beta carotene also have important role as antioxidant. And beta carotene work as an antioxidant by scavenge reactive oxygen species. And as we know that antioxidant is important to reduce several diseases such as reduce diabetic retinopathy, cognitive function is also important for bone strength and also important to reduce the risk of diabetic. Okay, from this table, you can see the biological effect of carotene against different diseases. So this study used in vitro, even some in vivo, and also this study is a clinical trial conducted in Finland by using Finnish men. So you can see here that in this study, they use beta carotene from natural sources, which is from food, not from supplement. And it showed that beta carotene can reduce the risk of leukemia. It can reduce the risk of colon cancer, cervical cancer, and even in clinical trial, it also associated with low risk of prostate cancer. And this is also another example, a study using beta carotene together with other carotenoid, which is canthaxanthin, phytoestin. And this study conducted using mice model in vivo. So it showed that it can reduce the number of skin tumor in mice. And this study, another study conducted in vitro also showed that beta carotene and also alpha can reduce the risk cancer for the risk of liver cancer. So this is another type of carotenoid which I'm not going to explain. So this also another study many studies related with the immunological properties of carotenoid against different diseases, which I'm not going to discuss due to the limited time. And this study also show the relationship between carotenoid intake and the prevention of diseases. So if you can see here, the result is mixed. Sometimes you can see the finding not significant, sometimes it decrease, but sometimes reduce not significantly. Okay. So this is important slide where this slide show the result from large carotenoid supplementation trial. So this study looked the effect of beta carotene in the form of supplement on lung cancer, gastric cancer, and also age-related macular degeneration, which related with eye disease. So in one study conducted in China by Lin Zhan et al., so this study used a very large number of respondents, nearly 30,000 respondent men and women. And this respondent was given with beta carotene together, vitamin E and selenium. And it showed that beta carotene have protective effect against lung cancer and also gastric cancer. And another study, a physician health study, also using the same, almost the same number, more than 20,000 male, and the subject was given with beta carotene in the with amount 50 milligram every day, and they study this they look the effect for 12 years. However, the findings show no beneficial or harmful effect carotene on lung and also gastric cancer. However, the one that I highlighted with yellow color, ATBC and CARROT study, have shown contrast result. ATBC, they used nearly 30,000 Finnish male smoker, and they were given with beta carotene amount 20 milligram, and they follow up 5 to 8 years, and it showed that beta carotene enhanced the risk of lung cancer. Similar with CARROT study as well. When the subject were given with beta carotene with together vitamin A, and they do follow up for 4 years, it showed that beta carotene increase the risk of lung cancer. And ARID 1 and 2 is a study related with age-related macular degeneration, where they wanted to look effect of carotene, beta carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin. And this study showed that these three carotenoids have positive effect by reduce the progression of the advanced AMD, age-related macular degeneration. So why the variation result from various studies? And actually there are many factors. Firstly, different doses. If you look from previous slide, some study use 50 milligrams, some 50 milligrams. So it's not standardized, so that's why the finding also different. Secondly, administration with different combination of other nutrients. For example, like in this study, Lin Zhan, they're not only looking the effect of beta carotene, they combine together with vitamin E and selenium. So that's a factor that cause mixed result. And also due to the finding from ATBC and CARROT, consequences, the authority reduced intake recommendation for beta carotene, with the UK specifying upper limit of 7 milligram for beta carotene from supplement, and the European Food Safety Authority recommend a maximum of 15 milligram for the safe use of beta carotene. However, if you look at this highlight in this study, ATBC and CARROT, those two studies, they use male smoker. And even CARROT, not only smoker, they the subject is workers in asbestos industry. So this could be the result why the effect of beta carotene have negative effect, where it induce high risk of lung cancer. And another disease related with beta carotene supplementation, also conducted by physician health study, and have found that long-term beta carotene supplementation can help to maintain cognitive performance in a generally healthy population. So this study is 18 years treatment. So another study by Korean, they use a small number of subjects and they show that beta carotene was positively correlated with a higher lumbar spine bone mineral, means that it helped to increase the strength or density of bone. And also beta carotene, when you consume as part of a normal diet, it also can protect your skin from UV light induced damage, sunburn, and also skin aging. And another study by using animal model I have shown as well that beta carotene will improve the diabetic rat by increase the antioxidant activity, and the diabetic rat also gain more weight compared to the group of rat that not treated with beta carotene. And we know that carotene also can be found, has been used in food industry as coloring agent. So this also another source of carotenoid in our diet. So as conclusion, carotenoid have a range of function in human health and different classes have different benefit, means that you can get variety of carotenoid from different food. And red palm oil, we know that not only rich source of alpha and beta carotene, it also have vitamin A. And further research is required to establish recommendation for adequate and optimal intake via food or via supplement. Because red palm oil, I think quite less study using red palm oil, since this red palm oil not only consists carotene, it also have vitamin A. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nurhaizan. So I think that was quite a very informative slides which Dr. Nurhaizan has shared. So Dr. Nurhaizan actually shared about the sources of carotenoids and also a vast application for health. So our next speaker, he's going to be talking about a much more concentrated and focused element of the health. Okay, the impact of red palm oil consumption on cardiovascular health. And our next speaker, let me just introduce him to everyone, Dr. Tony Ng Kok Wai. Okay, Dr. Tony Ng was a researcher at Institute of Medical Research, IMR, Kuala Lumpur, for 35 years, ladies and gentlemen, where he retired as the head of the Cardiovascular, Diabetes and Nutrition Research Center. Okay, later on, he was with the International Medical University, Kuala Lumpur, for about 10 years, and then he continued and moved on to the University Tunku Abdul Rahman, Utah, which is based in Perak, as an associate professor from 2017 until 2020. He had been serving as an expert SN2 panel of Malaysian Palm Oil Board, nutrition consultant of the same organization, and the professional editor of Nutrition Briefs with MPOPC. He has been involved with palm oil research for 48 years, and his area of expertise is on oils and fats, especially palm oil in human nutrition. So without much ado, I would like to pass the session to Dr. Tony Ng. Doctor, it's all yours. You are muted, Doctor. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Morita, for those kind words. Also, I wish to thank the Malaysian Palm Oil Council for inviting me to speak this afternoon. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen out there, for joining this very interesting Red Palm Oil webinar. I've had a long research career spanning 49 years and still counting. That's half a century. Yeah. That's why I feel a bit old and archaic. Most of these years I spent in palm oil research at the IMA, as mentioned by the Mr. Moderator, IMU and Utah. And I hope to give it many more years to come. I've helped Malaysian Palm Oil Council promote palm oil in the past in several countries abroad and in many local states in Malaysia the better part of 20 years to get the facts right about oil palm consumption. So without further ado, I hope to share my PowerPoint slides with you. First and foremost, I'll start the talk with the caption, Red Palm Oil protects against cardiovascular disease. The protective effects of red palm oil on cardiovascular health are attributed to a large extent by its high content antioxidants, namely with tocopherol, tocotrienol, carotenoids, and the natural bioactive components such as flavonoids, phytosterols, phenolic acids. This diagram shows cholesterol biosynthesis in the liver. If your cholesterol levels are high and you visit a doctor, the doctor will prescribe a statin. And what the statin does is that it will inhibit HMG-CoA reductase, catalyzing the rate-limiting step in cholesterol biosynthesis. As a result, your cholesterol levels go down, cholesterol biosynthesis go down, and so will your blood cholesterol levels. Now, Kirashi in 1986 was the first to show that tocotrienols have a statin-like cholesterol-lowering action. You check out the reference given there. And ladies and gentlemen, I have good news for you. Palm tocotrienol also have a statin-like cholesterol-lowering action because it inhibits HMG-CoA reductase. As mentioned, red palm oil is rich in phytosterols, which are structurally similar to cholesterol. And these phytosterols block cholesterol absorption, lowering total cholesterol by as much as 10%, and the LDL or bad cholesterol by up to 14%, and thereby lowering the risk of cardiovascular disease. You can check the reference given there later on. Now, this is a cartoon drawn by me when I was with the IMU. On the left, you can see the low-density protein entering the arterial endothelium through leaky junctions, and on the right, you see monocytes in the circulation entering to via set adhesion molecules, the phagocytes, and then which later will engulf the LDL oxidize and form bloated foam cells which burst into fatty streaks. These fatty streaks will later mature into ugly atherosclerotic plaques which clog arteries. So the scientists know for if you want to prevent fatty streak formation and atherosclerosis, two things you need to do: inhibit oxygen LDL cholesterol, inhibit entry of monocytes entry into the endothelium. And now we know we can do this. Tocotrienol can inhibit the oxidation LDL cholesterol. It can also inhibit the monocyte adhesion and special activation of site adhesion molecules, thereby curbing the entry of monocytes into the endothelium. The million-dollar question is, do the other bioactive compounds in red palm oil inhibit LDL oxidation and reduce atherosclerosis? The answer is a big yes. Again, the recent articles there by Jella et al. This by University of Texas, entitled Beta-carotene inhibits the oxidative modification of low-density lipoprotein. And you remember, at this point, I remind you that red palm contains more than 50% of beta-carotene. The second paper is an Israeli paper entitled Flavonoids Protect LDL from Oxidation and Attenuate Atherosclerosis. You can check the reference out later. And third is a local paper by the Malaysian Palm Board together with the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, where they focus on all palm phenolics. And this is the diagram there. Bioactive compounds to prevent LDL oxidation, curb fatty acid stick formation, thereby producing less severe atherosclerosis. Next, I'll take you to a study by Kerchevsky in year 2000, a study on early experimental atherosclerosis in a rabbit model. Rabbits were fed a purified cholesterol diet for 65 days. One group was fed red palm oil containing carotenoids, and the control group was fed RBT carotenoid-free palm oil. Two autosites were graded visually for atherosclerosis on a 0 to 4 scale at the end of the feeding, the significant difference between the two supplemental groups. Findings: less severe atherosclerosis and outer arc of the red palm oil group compared with the palmolive control. Since the control group was carotenoid free, the beneficial effects seen in the red palm oil group must have been contributed by the red palm oil carotenoids. Next, I'll talk about chronic inflammation. At the site of arterial injury, there's a release of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which over the long term will cause chronic inflammation, which will cause tissue injury leading to chronic heart disease and stroke. So good news, ladies and gentlemen, is that red palm oil contains both carotenoids and flavonoids, which act synergistically to protect against chronic inflammation. This paper here says by Jean Mendovic et al. Says combination of palm oil and a plant containing rich in flavonoids will show anti-inflammatory effects. But the good news is that red palm contains both these bioactive components, so you don't have to go find another food item which is rich in flavonoids. Just consume red palm oil. In summary, the cardiovascular effects of red palm oil are attributed to its high content of antioxidants, tocopherol, tocotrienol, carotenoids, flavonoids, and natural bioactive compounds mediated through their antioxidant mechanisms, inhibit HMG co-reductase in cholesterol biosynthesis, block cholesterol absorption, causing the reduction of blood cholesterol, suppress chronic inflammation, leading to reduced cardiovascular risk, reduce low-density lipoprotein oxidation, activation and expression of cell adhesion molecules, resulting in less phagocytes being formed, reduce atherosclerosis, and the take-home message, ladies and gentlemen, make red palm oil a part of your daily diet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tony. So that was like quite a detailed information which he has shared, and I think it's like very good and in-depth information. I mean, like what Dr. Tony mentioned, it's like a century, half a century of information through his research and everything, and has been shared to us in the past, I think 10 to 15 minutes. So thank you, Dr. Tony. And I think now we move on. So we actually discussed about cardiovascular diseases. So now it is to another part of the body, but which is also very interesting. It has a lot of aesthetic values. So it's gonna be on the skin. So our third speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Nyam Karlin, and she is the head of research and postgraduate studies at Faculty of Applied Sciences, UCSI University. Dr. Nyam has published over 108 papers in various high-impact journals and also 4 book chapters. So Dr. Nyam is the top 1% researcher in ESI list for agricultural sciences. So congratulations, Dr. Nyam. And her areas of research specializations are very unique, which I would say very unique because the specialization are plant seed oils, fats and oils, chemistry and technology, nanotechnology, micro encapsulation, and cosmetic technology. So it's going to be a very interesting presentation. And the title that she will be sharing with us is Effect of Red Palm Oil on Skin Health and Aging. So Dr. Nyam, it's your turn now to give us as much of information and share with us anything that you seemed appropriate for the skin health and aging. Dr. Nyam.
Okay, thanks, Anthony, for the kind words. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about the effect of red palm oil on the skin health and the aging. So these are the table of contents for today's talk. And then just a brief introduction about our palm fruit. So our palm fruit, the scientific name is the Ileus genesis. So it's a perennial tropical tree. It grows at the tropical climates. So it's a monoecious, means that it bears the male and also the female flowers on the same tree, which develops after 2 years. So each ripe bunch is commonly known as a fresh fruit bunch. So the lifespan for our palm tree is normally in 25 years. So the red palm oil is an edible natural oil produced from the fruit of the Ileus genesis tree, which is known to have been part of the human diet for over 5,000 years and is seen as a nutritious food and a valuable medicine. So it derives its color from the carotene, such as like the beta-carotene and also lycopene. So the same nutrients that gives the tomatoes, carrots, and also other fruits and vegetables, which is rich in the red and also orange in color. So the red palm oil actually is the dark red in color due to the high content of the carotenoids, including the beta-carotene, which is a vitamin A precursor, and also the lycopene. So it is the second most widely produced edible oil, with over 28 million tons produced globally in 2004. It also serves as an important component of soaps, washing powders, and personal care products. So red palm oil is a rich source of the phytonutrients such as tocotrienols, tocopherols, phytosterols, squalene, and also coenzyme Q10, all of which inhibit the nutritional properties and oxidative stability. So red palm oil is mutagenic, nutritional, and some toxicological studies have shown that red palm oil contains high bioavailable beta-carotene and vitamin A, and is reasonably stable to heat without any adverse effect. So the skin health and aging. Premature skin aging is caused by the UV radiation that damage the skin connective tissue. The exposure of UV radiation initiates the production of reactive oxygen species, the ROS, and the cellular mechanism that damages the skin connective tissue and finally lead to the photoaging. So this diagram shows the skin aging pathway 1. So the UV radiation triggers the mitogen activated protein kinase, the MARK pathway. So the activated kinases upregulate expression and functional activation of the nuclear transcription factor AP1, which then stimulates transcription of the genes for matrix degrading enzymes such as the matrix metalloproteinase, the MMP 1, 2, 3, 9, and 12. So moreover, transcription factor AP1 also causes skin aging through transforming growth factor, TGF, beta-1 pathway inhibition, followed by the collagen gene expression. So this is a diagram for the skin aging pathway 2. So the UV radiation triggers the production of the reactive oxygen species, the ROS, which will be quenched by the antioxidant defenses in the skin. So if the antioxidant defense is overwhelmed, then will cause the oxidative stress to the damaged skin cells and alter their gene expression. So at last, it will lead to the photoaging and finally promoting the skin cancers. So what can we do to delay the skin aging? Topical application of the antioxidant not only helps to introduce the antioxidant compounds, but also to direct chemical interference with free radicals generated and thus interfere with the UV-induced gene expression by multiple pathways. So red palm oil with the high carotenoids, vitamin E, and the phytosterols, they will protect the skin from oxidative stress and implement the cellular antioxidant level to promote skin health. So the red palm oil is also high in the palmitic acid, oleic acid, and unsaturated fatty acids, all of which have been shown in clinical studies to help maintain and enhance the general skin health. So this table shows the phytonutrients found in the red palm oil. So as you can see from here, the red palm oil, actually they are high in the carotenoids, vitamin E, phytosterol, and also the ubiquinone. So all these compounds actually they help in maintain our skin health and also the anti-aging properties. Carotenoids are the provitamin A and act as antioxidant, as well as photoprotective agent in the skin to scavenge the free radicals. Carotenoid can accumulate in the human skin through food intake. So carotenoid function as the UV filter to protect the skin against photo damage. Carotenoid shielded human skin from UV light-induced erythema. So carotenoid also act as an antioxidant that inhibit the lipid peroxidation, protect the skin against the reactive oxygen species, the ROS, generated by the UV radiation, and inhibit of the UV-induced genes expression that cause the premature aging. So they trigger the keratinocyte proliferation, epidermal differentiation, and reduction of inflammation. Thus, with the application of the carotenoid in the topical formulation, so it can prevent skin aging and provide the skin treatment, such as like the inflammation, acne, and also the psoriasis. So the mechanism of the carotenoid associated with the epidermal and also the dermal damage. So the carotenoid show excellent singlet oxygen quenching and also the ROS scavenging properties. So they act as an antioxidant that provide the radical scavenging effects, inhibit the lipid peroxidation, and protect the skin against the ROS generated by the UV radiation. So besides, they are also found to inhibit the UV-induced gene by downregulating the expression of the melanoproteases, which are responsible for premature aging, as well as modulate photoimmune system. So carotenoid trigger the keratinocyte proliferation, and also the epidermal differentiation. So overall, the reduction of the sign of the photoaging, such as like the wrinkling, pigmentation, dryness, and also loss of the skin elasticity. So it's closely associated with the beneficial role of the carotenoids on the skin. So vitamin E, which also known as the tocopherol and also the tocotrienol. So with the high antioxidant show potential protection against UV-induced skin photo damage and to disrupt the propagation step of the oxidation mechanism by scavenging the free radicals. So the presence of the hydroxyl group in the tocopherols able to scavenge the lipid peroxyl radicals. To avoid these radicals attack other neighboring fatty acids change in the plasma membrane. So according to the previous studies, so topical application of the alpha tocopherol before UV exposure reduces UV-induced skin damage by reducing the lipid peroxidation, limiting the DNA damage, and reducing the many chemical and the structural changes to skin after UV exposure that contributed to the anti-aging. So topical application of the alpha tocopherol on the skin that prevents the UV-induced oxidative damage in vivo. So this study was investigated the topical application of the alpha tocopherol on the skin of hairless mice. So to observe the formation of epidermal lipid hydroperoxides after UV irradiation. So topical application of alpha tocopherol was found to inhibit the formation of cyclobutane pyrimidine photoproducts in the animal model. Vitamin E protects the skin from various deleterious effects, mainly contributed to the lipid peroxidation, interacts with the enzymatic and also the non-enzymatic pathway of other antioxidant system and act as a free radical scavenger. So the topical application of the vitamin E protects against the UV-induced skin damage and photoaging. So in addition, the application of the vitamin E on the human keratinocyte cell lines was found to demonstrate some degree of the protection against the cell death after the UVB irradiation. So on another hand, vitamin E is a free radical scavenger that not only to combat the free radical produced from the UV radiation, but also act as a moisture barrier to the skin that decelerates the aging process in return. So the beneficial properties of the combination of polyphenols, vitamin E, carotenoids, and also the phytosterol in anti-inflammation and anti-aging by protecting the skin against the free radical and ensuring the stability and integrity of the skin to prevent premature aging. Thus, the red palm oil can be a source of the tocopherol and the tocotrienol to offer the beneficial effects against the UV damages to the skin. So phytosterol offer the antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumoral, anti-ulcer, and also the antioxidant activities. So in addition, phytosterol offer the photoprotection and anti-wrinkle property owing to the cell division facilitation ability. So other than that, the phytosterol also offer the moisturization and also the barrier protection, as well as provide the nutrition for the healthy skin. So a previous study also proved that the topical administration of the phytosterol help to repair the skin cells and recover the skin barrier function on the skin damage. So the ubiquinol, also known as the coenzyme Q10, so it's a strong antioxidant compound that can prevent the premature aging. So premature aging is caused by the chronic UV exposures by inhibiting the fission of the ROS, so activation of the API. So it also increases the formation of the elastin in the fibroblasts. So besides, it also increases the expressions of the type 3 and the type 4 collagen. So a study also shows that ubiquinol can significantly reduces the eye wrinkles after the 6 months of application. So this pie chart, it shows that the fatty acid composition in our red palm oil. So as you can see from here, so red palm oil contains about 47% of the saturated fatty acids, which is mainly come from the palmitic acid and also the stearic acid. So, and it also contains 53% of the unsaturated fatty acids, which are come from the oleic acid and also the linoleic acid. So clinical study on the application of cream rich in the palmitic and also the oleic acid on the human subject. So the result shows that 70% of the panelists experience an improvement on the skin texture. So besides, it also demonstrated that the palmitic and the oleic acid demonstrated the protective effect against the UV-induced cellular damages in the human dermal fibroblasts. So red palm oil also rich in the omega-3 and omega-6, which are the unsaturated fatty acids. Combination of the omega-3 and omega-6 supplementation inhibits the highest potential in diminishing inflammatory process. So it's beneficial for the management of the inflammatory skin diseases. So both the omega-3 and 6 can also help in maintain and improve the overall skin health. So here are some of the commercialized red palm oil skincare products that they use the red palm oil as one of their ingredients. So this is the Chrisma body cream with the red palm oil with the shea butter. Okay. So for the Jusica organic red palm oil, it's the multi-use for the hair, face, and also the body. So for the Fleur de Lis golden cream, so it also added the red palm oil as one of the ingredients in their products. So in conclusion, red palm oil is endowed with a good mixture of the natural antioxidants and together with its balanced composition of the different classes of fatty acids. So makes it safe, stable, and versatile edible oil with many positive health and nutritional attributes. So red palm oil has several biochemical and nutritional advantages and promising in the skin health and anti-aging. So red palm oil may be applied in the cosmetic or pharmaceutical industry for tropical formulation development due to its oil rich in the antioxidants, especially the carotenoids, vitamin E, phytosterol, as well as the unsaturated fatty acids, mainly the omega-3 and omega-6. So these are the references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nyam. So that was quite an extensive information for us on red palm oil and how it is actually used for on skin and its uses for skin health and aging. So I'm sure it actually garnered a lot of attention. So let's just move on to the next session. Our final speaker, which is actually quite an interesting topic also, which is actually Dr. Radhika Loganathan will be presenting. And the title of this paper is The Affordable Solution to Combat Vitamin A Deficiency. So it's going to be quite an interesting with a lot of researches that Dr. Radhika is presenting. So let me just give a bit of an introduction about Dr. Radhika. Dr. Radhika Loganathan is a research officer under the Nutrition Unit of the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, MPOB. And she was the recipient of the JOS Best Author Award 2020, SFRR Young Scientist Award 2011, Best of the Best Poster Award for PPOC 2015, and also JKP Gemilang Award in 2006. And she has also garnered several internal awards from Malaysian Palm Oil Board. She offers 10 years of expertise in palm oil nutrition, focusing on red palm oil and phytonutrient research. So without much ado, I pass it to Dr. Radhika Loganathan. Doctor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you everyone, and thank you MPOC for the kind invitation. And my presentation today is entitled Red Palm Oil, the Affordable Solution to Combat Vitamin A Deficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. You will be joining me in a ride. We will have 3 stops. At first station, I'll explain on vitamin A deficiency. At second station, I'll explain on the role of red palm oil in addressing vitamin A deficiency. At third station, I'll share on a current ongoing study, a red palm oil program in Malaysia. Let's start our journey with vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A is required for maintenance of normal vision, for normal hematopoiesis, to maintain good skin health, is important for better immunity against infection, and to improve cognitive function and bone health. Deficiency of vitamin A is a public health problem and listed as the most widespread nutritional deficiency worldwide. According to World Health Organization, about 190 million preschool children.
Excuse me, Dr. Radhika, just a minute. We cannot see your slides, doctor.
Oh, really?
Yes. Can you try again?
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Right. Can you see now?
Okay. Now we can see it.
All right. Is it okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Can you slide to the next?
Okay, just hold on, I can't view it now. Okay, is it okay?
Okay, yes, we can see the slide.
It's the first slide, right?
Yes, the first slide.
Should I start back, Anthony?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, doctor.
All right, okay. So sorry for the inconvenience.
It's okay, no problem, doctor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, MPOC, for the invitation. So very good evening, everyone. Sorry. Okay, you will be joining me on the right. This is my presentation, and we will have 3 stops. At first station, I'll talk on vitamin A deficiency. At second station, I'll talk on the role of red palm oil in addressing vitamin A deficiency. At third station, I'll share on our current ongoing study, a red palm oil program in Malaysia. Let's start our right with vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A is required for maintenance of normal vision. It is essential for normal hematopoiesis, for better immunity against infection, and to improve cognitive function and bone health. Deficiency of vitamin A is a public health problem and listed as the most widespread nutritional deficiency worldwide. According to World Health Organization, 190 million preschool children and 19 million pregnant women in the underdeveloped countries in the regions of Africa and Southeast Asia are vitamin A deficient. An estimated 2.8 million preschool children are at the risk of developing nutritional blindness or active xerophthalmia due to vitamin A deficiency. Sadly, 250,000 to 500,000 children become blind every year due to vitamin A deficiency, and half of this amount die within a year of losing their vision. Vitamin A deficiency causes visual impairment and blindness, risk of infection, stunting in children, anemia, respiratory diseases, and severity or incidence of common childhood illness such as diarrhea and measles. So what causes vitamin A deficiency? Firstly, insufficient intake of carotenoids-rich fruits and vegetables, and preformed vitamin A in the form of meat and dairy products. Next, abnormal production or release of bile, poor lipid absorption, and chronic exposure to oxidants such as cigarette smoking and chronic alcoholism. These are different eye signs of vitamin A deficiency as graded by World Health Organization. Severe vitamin A deficiency distresses ocular tissue by reducing regeneration of visual pigment upon exposure to bright light, or causes lasting damage to the epithelium of cornea and conjunctiva. Classical manifestation due to vitamin A deficiency may lead to less serious eye drop spots and night blindness, or serious conjunctival cirrhosis or corneal ulcer that could lead to blindness. In Malaysia, vitamin A deficiency still exists among the underprivileged community, and ocular manifestation of vitamin A deficiency still exists among the Aborigines children, ranging from history of night blindness to corneal scouring, 82.2%, and 27.4% of Orang Asli children or the Aborigines have got low retinol levels. It's a point to highlight that vitamin A deficiency is a public health problem when more than 15% of a defined population have got serum retinol levels of less than 0.7 micromole per liter. This is a recent data by CNAT Malaysia. So based on the nutrition survey conducted on 3,542 children aged between 6 months to 12 years old, it was found that 4.4% of Malaysian children have got vitamin A deficiency, and the prevalence was found to be higher in rural communities, 6.4%, as compared to urban areas, 3.8%. Besides, anemia due to low hemoglobin levels was found to be 6.6%, and iron deficiency due to low ferritin concentration was found to be 4.4%. These are different strategies to address vitamin A deficiency. The protective effect of high dose of vitamin A supplement could only last up to 3 months. Therefore, complementary treatment by food-based strategies are suggested to treat vitamin A deficiency. And this is where red palm oil comes in. So we have reached the next station. Hope you're still with me. Red palm oil is a natural source of provitamin A carotenoids. Red palm oil, here I will talk on the role of red palm oil in addressing vitamin A deficiency. Red palm oil is a virtual powerhouse of all nutrients. It does not only provide fatty acids that are essential source of energy, but it is packed with assortment of phytonutrients such as vitamin E, carotenoids. This gives the oil as well as the fruit the brilliant orange red in color, phytosterol, squalene, and coenzyme Q10 that are known to have various health promoting properties. In Africa, red palm oil supplementation through fortified biscuit and fortified lunch was shown to improve serum retinol levels. Besides, an appreciable amount of retinol and xanthophylls are found in breast milk of nursing mothers supplemented with red palm oil. Xanthophylls are usually found in the eye macular pigment. It is known to protect the photoreceptor cells in the eyes against photooxidative damage. In addition to improvement in serum retinol levels, studies in India have shown improvement in vision by vital spot disappearance. Besides, conjunctival impression cytology were pronounced normal upon 6 months of red palm oil supplementation, and improvement in hemoglobin levels and retinol levels were also reported in red palm oil supplemented teenage girls. Recent studies in China have also shown improvement in serum retinol concentration in vitamin A deficient elementary school children, Besides, average body height and body weight was also improved after the intervention as compared to the national standard. Red palm oil is beneficial for all age categories. The amount of red palm oil required to supply the recommended dietary allowance for vitamin A is 1 teaspoon for infants and children, 2 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon for adults, 2 teaspoons for expecting mothers, and the highest requirement is for lactating mothers, 4 teaspoons. As little as 1 tablespoon of red palm oil have got equivalent provitamin A levels to that of 12 large hard-boiled eggs, 6 cups of spinach, 2 medium cooked carrots, 12 large tomatoes, and 12 small papayas. Ladies and gentlemen, you are at final station. Here I will share on our current ongoing study, which is a collaboration project between Malaysian Palm Oil Board and University of Malaya. So the study was designed to see the effect of supplementation of red palm shortening fortified biscuit on nutritional status, ocular status, intestinal parasitic infection, and gut microbiota of vitamin A deficient primary school children in Malaysia. So this is the study. We conducted a double-blinded randomized control trial with pre-post test design to see the chronic effects of diet with red palm shortening as compared to palm shortening as control. The study is divided to 2 phases. At phase 1, we screened subjects for vitamin A deficiency, and subjects with confirmed and suspected range of vitamin A deficiency were subjected to 6 months of dietary intervention, and we revisited them post 200 days to look at their serum retinol levels. This is the geographical location. We cited several rural schools. They are considered P1 areas or Pedalaman 1 areas. They are quite deep in and off-road. It's a clustered trial design. At every region, there are 2 schools, one serving as the control arm and the other as the experimental arm. And this is how the children commute to school daily. Children from several villages are put together to school, and the villages are located far apart, more than 10-kilometer radius from school. Next, I'll share some of the highlights from the screening phase. So intestinal parasitic infection is a condition where parasites infect the gastrointestinal tract of human or other animals. Vitamin A deficiency and parasitic infection have extremely similar geographical distribution, with the same individual experiencing both conditions. Soil-transmitted helminth infection refers to infection of intestinal worms that are transmitted through contaminated soil. Here, helminth means parasitic worm. Intestinal protozoa refers to parasitic infection transmitted through consumption of contaminated water and food. So the first one is roundworms. They can possibly compete for vitamin A in the intestine. And some of the soil-transmitted helminths are known to cause loss of appetite, therefore a reduction in the nutritional intake or physical fitness. The next one is whipworms. Whipworms are known to cause diarrhea and dysentery. And the last picture is hookworms. They're known to cause chronic intestinal blood loss that can result in anemia. Northern region, Perak and Central region, Pahang, had highest prevalence for soil-transmitted helminth infection, and we found the most common form was whipworms, followed by roundworms, and lastly hookworms. The prevalence of protozoa infection was relatively low as compared to soil-transmitted helminths. Here we highlight two most important intestinal protozoa infections, which are Entamepa and Giardia. We detected 72 Entamepa infected samples and 2 Giardia infected samples out of 806 screen samples. Prevalence of anemia due to low hemoglobin level was highest again at Northern and Central region. It is considered a moderate public health problem at these regions. And based on overall prevalence, the children were classified to have mild to moderate public health problem based on WHO classifications. Iron deficiency due to low ferritin concentration and iron deficiency anemia was also highest at Northern and Central region. And underweight, stunting, and wasting was used to measure nutritional imbalance resulting in undernutrition. The percentage of children with stunting reflects cumulative effect of undernutrition and infection since or even before birth. Stunting can therefore be interpreted as an indication of poor environmental condition and long-term restriction to a child's potential growth. Here, 39% of these children was found to be stunted, and the percentage of children with underweight also reflects wasting. 33% of these children were found to be underweight, and 5% was found to be wasted. Therefore, children in P1 areas can be categorized to have high prevalence for stunting, very high prevalence for underweight, and poor condition for wasting based on WHO cutoff values for public health significance. Prevalence of vitamin A deficiency is a severe public health problem at Northern and Central region. It may be intensified by high rates of intestinal parasitic infection in this region. Prevalence of vitamin A deficiency is considered as mild public health problem in Southern region Johor and Sarawak and moderate public health problem in Sabah. Based on overall prevalence, 21% of children in P1 areas are classified to have confirmed vitamin A deficiency. 56% of these children were at suspected range, and only 23% of these children had normal levels of vitamin A. Hence, vitamin A deficiency is a severe public health problem among the rural community in P1 areas in Malaysia. We believe the severity can go higher if we go deeper to P2 or P3 areas. So what are the factors contributing to high prevalence of intestinal parasite infection, malnutrition, and vitamin A deficiency? So the main risk factor was low household income. So low household income was 32 times higher risk for one to get intestinal parasitic infection. Those with low household income has also got higher risk for vitamin A deficiency, underweight, and stunting. And children of younger age, 7 to 9 years old, had got 2.1 times higher risk to get anemia as compared to 10 to 12 years old. Next, I'll share some of the highlights from the intervention phase. Here we screened all in 1,164 children, and we recruited 651 children with confirmed and suspected range of vitamin A deficiency, and we have successfully completed the study with 583 children. So this is the experimental diet. They come in the form of cookies. We formulated the cookies to have 70% of target RDA for vitamin A to fulfill the age group 7 to 12 years old. The biscuits comes in 4 alternating flavors to provide a variety for 6 months of feeding program. So the subjects were dewormed with albendazole before the intervention. And we conducted ocular check at baseline and post-intervention for any ocular signs of vitamin A deficiency. 22.7% of the recruited subjects had vitamin A deficiency, xerophthalmia or conjunctival cirrhosis. Conjunctival cirrhosis is a condition of abnormal dryness in the eye, typically associated with vitamin A deficiency. So interestingly, our preliminary findings show higher reduction in xerophthalmia cases in experimental arm as compared to control arm. In conclusion, provitamin A carotenoids are found to be highly bioavailable, and red palm oil can be a feasible natural approach for the treatment of vitamin A deficiency. So the story is not complete yet. The study has got many phases. It's a huge ongoing study. What I presented you today is just a very small part of screening and intervention phases. Hope I can share the whole story with more exciting findings soon. As the picture depicts, the study is not a one-man show, and here I would like to take the opportunity to thank many parties, MPOB and RMK11 for the funding, collaborators from Parasitology Department, University of Malaya, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Department of Orang Asli Development, eye doctors from University Malaya Medical Center, Karantina Sdn Bhd for the sponsorship of test flights, Raini Kuki Sdn Bhd, laboratories from UMS Kota Kinabalu and UPM Bengkulu, Taman Yoga Sdn Bhd for the sponsorship of albendazole, Hot Glasses Sdn Bhd and Focus Point Sdn Bhd for the sponsorship of spectacles, as well as interns throughout the study. So this is our red palm oil working group, a group of strong ladies, I would say. A big thank you to our postgraduate students, Ms. Tan Pei and Ms. Shahira, for all the hard work in conducting the study. And ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached your destination. Perks of doing this study is that we get to enjoy a very beautiful scenery, and this was one such scenery taken at the football field of SK Lanai Kuala Lupis. Hope you enjoyed your ride. With that, thank you, and I welcome any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. So I think that was quite an in-depth sharing from Dr. Radhika about the research, and it is still ongoing, and that is why we won't be able to share the PowerPoint from Dr. Radhika later on, but that's okay. We still have the rest of our 3 speakers who would be sharing their PowerPoints with us, which would be made available in MPOC's website, mpoc.org.my. So I think we have quite a good time to discuss, and let's just move into our Q&A session. So I'll start the ball rolling, and I will invite specific speakers to answer these questions, and other speakers might also interject, or you want to add on or whatsoever. Okay, as we go on. Okay, we have quite a number of questions, so let me just start. It's like this is quite interesting. Maybe Dr. Nurhaizan and Dr. Radhika also can address this. The question is, can palm carotene be used to fortify biscuits and basically biscuits for children and adults to consume? So maybe Dr. Nurhaizan first. Can you?
Yeah, sure, you can. And I've seen that Dr. Radhika actually already incorporate RPO in the biscuit, right, Dr. Radhika? Yeah.
Okay, so is this actually made available in the market, or it is actually just for supplement purpose to for your research, doctor?
For now, it's still research purpose.
Okay, so do you think in the future it is possible to have this carotene fortified biscuits in the market? How do you see this? Do you think it's going to be happening?
If there are takers, it's possible.
Okay, all right. So I think there is a high possibility of that. And okay, the other one is what are the possible ways of reduction of carotenoids level in RBD palm oil? Will it be reduced because of storage? Dr. Nurhaizan, do you have any idea on this?
Carotenoid actually among the quite stable vitamin, even though it's as a provitamin, but it's quite stable because it's a fat soluble as compared to other like water soluble. So I think as long as the fat is not rancid, it should be okay.
Okay, so it's considered as a stable component which won't it won't deteriorate. Okay, all right. Okay, next I have one question. This is quite interesting to Dr. Tony. Doctor, what they claim is Nigerians eat a lot of palm oil, but it is also learned that palm oil has high cholesterol. What can be done to douse the negative effect of cholesterol? Is this a fact or is it a myth, doctor?
Actually, there's the fear for cholesterol is overrated. People fear cholesterol. Actually, cholesterol is unique cholesterol of the body.
Mhm.
You know, without cholesterol, we are dead. It shorts up the cells. It's like the brick in your wall. Without the brick, the wall will collapse. So you need cholesterol in your cell membranes. It's a fear that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that we need to address in this Q&A session, because one of the other question is, and this I would like all of the speakers to actually give your point of view, that you know, palm oil has a promising carotenoid content, but why is it is still allegedly say that many countries are trying to avoid palm oil consumption, and how we can actually debunk this, and can we actually use the the importance of carotenoid to actually debunk this myth about palm oil? Maybe we can start with Dr. Nurhaizan.
Okay, actually, frankly speaking, palm oil, even though no cholesterol, palm oil do not have cholesterol, because cholesterol actually can only be produced by animal. Even coconut also do not have cholesterol. So that is a wrong statement. And we looked at, even though palm oil considered has high saturated fat, but you also have to look that it also high with monounsaturated fat. In fact, the composition is similar with olive oil. So I think the country just attack the country. The Western country, they just attack our country in order, because they always wanted to promote their soybean oil. This is my my thought. I'm not sure about others.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. So any other panelists would like to add on about this misinformation?
An important question to ask is, are saturated fats bad? Because Street Renal showed that the consumption of saturated fats is not related to coronary heart disease. In fact, it may be protective against stroke. So this notion that saturated fats are bad need to be corrected. In fact, if you look at that heart study, in Sydney diet heart study, polyunsaturated fat kills. At 15 ng%, it kills the patients in that study. So I don't know how it got approved by the ethics committee. No, the Sydney diet heart study by, if you check it up, Sydney diet heart study by Ramsden published about 500 patients with a CHD event. Half was given safflower-rich diet, 15 ng%. One was on a normal diet, and the patient on the safflower diet, half of their diet twice the rate of the control group, and this was never highlighted, unless you say, are saturated fats bad? It depends on the amount you take, but the research already showed in a meta-analysis study that saturated fats are not related to coronary heart disease. It may even be protective against stroke. So these are the good topic that maybe MPC will have a topic to say, are saturated fats bad? Now we had a seminar this in IMU many days back. Invited Tan Sri Augustine Ong to speak.
Agree with you, Dr. Tony, because it has always been, the allegation towards saturated fat, and then it comes towards palm oil, and then, it just expands with the lots of misinformation. Yes, I agreed on that. Okay, all right. Next, there is one information that they would require from Dr. Nyang. Okay, Dr. Nyang, this is our participant from Indonesia. She would like to ask you regarding the method of a method for carotenoid, tocopherols, and phytosterols to prevent skin aging. Does applying the compound directly on skin has equal protective effect compared to consumption orally?
Okay, so for this question, actually, I will recommend you to also consume, at the same time also apply this cosmetic product on the skin, so that we have this internal and also the external protection. Yeah, so I think this effect is better. So instead just depending applying on the skin, because applying on the skin, it will take some time to have this effect. Normally we have to apply like at least 6 months. Okay, so if let's say you also consume at the same time, so actually they come from internal, and also we have the external production, then you will get the better effect, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, doctor. And just doctor, another curiosity. Since we have also had a couple of webinars on tocotrienols, and then today we are talking about carotenoids. So, how is there any differences on the effectiveness of carotenoid and tocotrienols per se?
Okay, so for the red palm oil, actually is known as that it has contains a lot of the beta carotene. You can see from the color. So it's a very dark red. So due to it have a high intensity of the carotenoid compared to the tocotrienol. So we know that our palm oil also they are high in the tocotrienol. So we cannot so actually both also contains the tocotrienol, just that maybe the red palm oil, we are more focuses on the beta carotene due to the color. Okay, but actually they also contains the tocotrienol just like our palm oil. So actually they also have this tocotrienol effect on the red palm oil as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So next there is one query to Dr. Radhika. Dr. Radhika, you showed a couple of couple of problems with the eyes when it comes to vitamin A deficiency in children's, right? So are these reversible or they are permanent? Are they reversible when we actually introduce supplements or vitamin A to these children's, or is it, it's not reversible, or how? Can you explain a bit?
Yeah, it is reversible, but you have to see when do we treat them. If we treat them early, then it is certainly reversible.
Okay, so is it really a chronic problem among adults compared to children's?
Is more prominent among the children. If for adults, it's more to age-related macular degeneration or cataracts, this kind of condition.
So just extending on that, doctor, why is it very prevalent in children's actually when it comes to age group? Why is there a specific? Why is it prevalent in children's vitamin A deficiency?
There is, I mean, even among the adults, a person like, let's say pregnancy and all that, you can see ocular signs of vitamin A deficiency, but the prevalence is higher among the children. Maybe because the absorption rate is better when it comes to adults as compared to children.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you, doctor. So let's fall back to Dr. Nohaizan. Dr. Nohaizan, this is I think it's a basic question that all homemakers are actually asking in this session that we are having today. It's because you mentioned that carotenoids are normally lost during cooking due to exposure to high temperature. So what do you suggest to be a total capture of carotenoids? I mean, heat stability. Can you advise a bit on that when actually using red palm oil at home and things like that?
Okay, I guess red palm oil, because of the red color, so usually people will not use red palm oil as a cooking oil. You mean when we cook our food to fry our food, usually we will use a very high temperature. So I guess the suitable way how we use our red palm oils is, for example, like salad dressing, similar like when you use olive oil. So that's one of the methods how to preserve carotenoid from red palm oil.
Okay, I think this also supports what Dr. Radhika mentioned about the amount of the recommended amount of red palm oil consumption just now, Dr. Radhika.
Yeah, can I add on? We actually have published an extensive research on thermal stability and storage stability of red palm oil. So red palm oil is actually suitable for normal cooking practices, but it may not be suitable for prolonged heating when carotenoid retention is of concern. But if let's say you want to use it for your salad dressing or stir frying, you can always do so, incorporate in your normal diet. And like how Prof. Nurhaizan said, we Malaysians especially, we are not used to see our food being red. So we actually conducted a dietary intervention with red palm oil. We introduced in Malaysian diets, and the acceptance was pretty well. So you can actually look up for my article as well. Yeah. So
Okay,
both of,
all right.
all of these are published actually, even the acceptance paper.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, I have one question. This is from one of our participants to Dr. Tony. So it's just like diverting slightly a bit, Doctor, but this is based on your experience. They would like to know if how effective is tocotrienol in managing cardiovascular diseases. Can you like explain a bit based on your experience and your research?
Now, tocotrienol has at least 20 times the antioxidant power of tocopherol. So it's very active to treat cardiovascular disease. In fact, I take one capsule every day, 200 milligrams, Tocovit, to keep my blood fluid.
Okay, all right. That's good to hear, Doctor. So the other concern is, Doctor, when it comes to cancer patients. How effective is tocotrienol for cancer patients?
I remember there was a study by MPOB and this on breast cancer patients, but the officer involved, I think she went to Sweden. I have not seen a paper yet giving tocotrienol to breast cancer patients. So if you can see that paper, I think there was a lot of information there. But definitely it is a great potential to treat cancer because of its antioxidant power.
All right, Doctor, this one, I'm not sure which of the panel can answer this. Does the fat indicates in the storage of the body adds to the percentage of the visceral fat in the body? I think there is something wrong with this question. Okay, all right. Okay, carotene degraded. Okay, we have actually talked about that. Okay, this is question. I will forward it to Dr. Nurhaizan. Upper limit was established for beta carotene by UK and EFSA. Since palm oil has both alpha and beta, is there a limit on alpha carotene for supplement use? Is there any limit?
As far as I know, I'm not sure whether Malaysia have that recommendation. But if you look, I already mentioned that requirement nutrient intake for Malaysian that have been revised 2070 mentioned that vitamin A we need only 800. We need only maximum 700 microgram per day. Whereas if you look, the limit that I stated in my slide is 15 milligram. It's way higher than the amount that we should consume. So I think if we convert into maybe we just need 2 teaspoons of red palm oil to get enough vitamin A. So I'm not sure is there any limit, because the one that we consume is much lower compared to the most of the study done. Sometimes 50 milligram, whereas we just need only 2, maybe 3 milligram, 3 milligram only. Whereas most of the study, they use 15, 30, which is way higher than we should consume. So I'm not sure whether Malaysia have that recommendation regarding to the beta carotenoid that we should, not exceed the amount.
Mr. Moderator, can I add something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Dr. Tony.
If your vitamin A kind of carotenoids, there's no danger of toxicity because it's regulated, or you only get, if you take too much carotenoid, you don't get caroteniemia, yellow coloration of the skin. There's no toxicity, unlike the supplements you take. So it's safe to take carotenoids.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that show negative effect, if you look, they use subject, the smoker, and also also workers that working at the carcinogenic environment. And if you look that the amount they give also very, very high. So that's the reason why I would say that for those who are for those who are smoker, we are not recommended to take beta carotene in the form of supplement in large amount, because instead of giving the benefit, it will give bad effect. And also beta carotene is, when you compare between beta carotene with vitamin A, it's less toxic compared to vitamin A. Vitamin A is similar like vitamin D, very, very toxic. If you consume more 10 times than the amount recommended for long duration, is cause really toxic, but not beta carotene. Beta carotene considered as a safe, even for pregnant mothers also, if they wanted to take supplement, is in the form of beta carotene, not vitamin A.
Okay, that's quite interesting what you highlighted, Doctor, regarding the effect, because I remember you shared in your slide about the effect, or because the sample, the participants were smokers and also working under carcinogenic environment. Yes. So Dr. Radhika, can you, like, just for the sake of understanding for our participants, can you like explain the dosage that you explained just now? You
Okay, the
explained
dosage
your
of amount recommended.
Yes.
Okay, I think Dr. Radhika also showed in her slide, the
Yeah.
amount consumption of red palm oil is 2 teaspoon. Because actually, based on RNI, which is a recommended nutrient intake for Malaysian, for adult, we just need only 600 microgram per day. So when we look the data, red palm oil has 500 to 700 ppm. So then when we convert it to how much that we consume is equivalent to only 2 teaspoons of red palm oil, just enough to follow the RNI formulation.
Okay. All right. Dr. Radhika, can you explain in Malaysian market how easy it is to obtain red palm oil, and in what form that it is available out there?
Okay, if you go to Malaysian market, usually you get classic red palm oil. So there is 2 grades, either classic or premium. So the dosage that I presented to you just now was premium grade. So premium grade, we have about 50 mg carotenes per 100 gram, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get the one from the market shop, it's about 12.5 mg. So
Okay.
that's why it's safe for consumption. Even you don't need to follow that 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon. You can actually go more than that. It's safe for cooking. Yeah. So even the premium grade nowadays, I think even in the pharmacies, they're actually selling it.
Okay. All right. So the consumption amount that we have actually shared to our participants is actually based on the premium grade, which is in the market. Okay. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
In the market, the one that you would see in the grocery stores are mostly classic grade.
Okay.
Classic, they have got lower carotenes, about 12.5 mg.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. So would you like to add on anything, Dr. Nyam, regarding this consumption and everything, when it comes to, for skin and to combat aging?
Okay, so for this consumption of this beta carotene, let's say, so they also shows the results that it have these anti-aging properties. Yeah, so actually, I don't think we need to consume too much, just like the concentration that presented by Dr. Noor Haizan. So that one is high enough, it's good enough to have this effect already. Yeah, so not only to have these other, like the cardiovascular disease prevention, and you also have this premature aging as well. So they can use as an antioxidant. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Doctor. So I think basically some of the other questions, it's still about how to keep it from deteriorating. So I'm not sure how we can address this. Is any of the panel can address this? How to keep red palm oil, or even like supplements from deteriorating its content. Do we have any idea on this that we can share?
I guess maybe just not exposed to oxygen, put in a dark area, because sometimes oxygen light also can enhance the deterioration of some vitamin, including vitamin A and also carotenoid. Even though I'm stated that it's quite stable, but we just want to avoid them from going to and we have to put in the dark area, put in not high temperature, maybe room temperature should be enough as well. No need to put in refrigerator.
Mhm.
Can
Okay.
I add on, Anthony?
Yes.
We have actually published this paper on storage stability of red palm oil, as I said.
Mhm.
Can look up for Yoganathan et al. JOS 2020. So we have done several storage conditions, and we find that red palm oil stored at room temperature or in the fridge have got similar stability as what Prof. Nurhaizan said. Those who are exposed under the light actually had got reduction in carotenes a bit. So it's better to be stored in the dark rather than in the light. So we always would encourage home consumers to actually put their red palm oil inside their kitchen cabinet and not on their cooking bench. You know, we say at least it will actually would make it last longer.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's actually a very good information, Dr. Radhika. Thank you. So this is to all our participants. What Dr. Radhika mentioned there is actually like keep it away from sunlight, because just to maintain its quality. So what we are talking about is like keep it in a cabinet away from the sunlight or whatsoever to maintain its quality. So that's a very, very good tip, Dr. Radhika. That's
Not
very
let it stove too, please.
Okay, so so the other thing, talking about storage, doctor, when can it be keep it in the refrigerator, then after that when we want to use it, how's the condition and how to use that?
Certainly it will be solidified.
Mhm. So because we know that some of the participants, some of consumers, they think that when oil is solidified, then it's actually like it's not good. So when it's liquidifies, then it loses some of the content or the qualities or whatsoever. So maybe our panels can actually explain on that. Dr. Nyam?
Okay, so actually the red palm oil that we purchase from the market, before we open, inside they have a plastic cap, and then inside they have the inert seal. Okay, the seal there. So before we open the seal, actually the red palm oil actually is already vacuumed. So normally before they package it, they were going to purge with the gas nitrogen to purge out all the oxygen. So actually, before we open the new bottle of the red palm oil, actually the red palm oil is in a very fresh condition, even though it already kept maybe 1 or 2 months in the cabinet in the supermarket. So, but once we purchase it, once we open the seal there, so then only they will start the oxidation, because we expose the oil to the oxygen, to the air. Okay, so normally we will advise the consumer, once you open the seal, just try to consume it as soon as possible. So if let's say for a very small number of the family member, so if let's say a small household, so maybe you just purchase a small bottle of the red palm oil. Then after you consume it, then you purchase another bottle. So we are not advised the consumer to purchase like 3 liter, but actually you only have 2 members in the household. Then you will take a few months to consume it. So this is the way how we're going to try to reduce the degradation of the red palm oil. Okay, just purchase maybe 1 liter, so maybe you just take 1 or 2 months, consume it, then after that, then it's good. The degradation not that fast as what we think. So as soon as you keep in the dark cabinet away from the sunlight, then actually the degradation not that fast. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's very good information. Any other panels want to add on to that? Okay, so I think that that's quite a good information about what Dr. Nyam explained just now, because I think many of our participants, they are all they know the benefits of red palm oil and carotenoids, which is contained in the red palm oil right now. And when we are talking about normal consumers, usually they don't know how to actually store it, how to use it. Basically, that's the thing. It's not just about knowing the benefit, but actually how to use it, how to consume it. And storage is one of the important things that I think it's very good for us to address in our session today. So thank you very much. And there is also one question, Dr. Tony. This is addressed to you, Doctor. I know it's not very specific on carotenoids, but I think this is a general question that they want to hear from you. Okay, why people say eating oily food can get you fat? Is it true? Because in Malaysia, we use palm oil every day for every dishes. So can you explain why do people say that eating oily food can can make you get fat? Is it a fact or is it a myth?
It may be a fact because oily food is more energy dense. So if you are living a sedentary lifestyle, you take oily foods, it's taking more energy than you require. And then that ends up in fat storage, and then you put on weight. And I know obesity is a big problem in Malaysia. If you follow the WHO body mass index of 30, about half the population is overweight. If you use the Asian perspective, I think it goes beyond half. Very scary. So try to take low-fat food so that you eat within your needs. You don't grow fat because you take oily food. You have more energy than you need if you are sedentary. So there's some truth in it.
Okay, so it's a very good way for you to put it that way, Doctor. It's like they're taking more calorie in that sense. That's why it contributes to the body mass increase. Okay, all right. Thank you, Doctor. So I have another question here for Dr. Nyam. Does carotenoids can be used as added value in skincare product? If it is possible, what is the function and is there any side effect of carotenoids if it is used in skincare? I think you did explain in your presentation, but maybe you can just add on some information, Dr. Nyam, about this.
So you mean what is the function for the beta carotenoid, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So this beta carotenoid actually the study shows that actually they have the anti-aging properties. So that means they have this free radical scavenging. So as long as they have this free radical scavenging, that means they have these anti-aging properties. So that means when we apply to our skin, because they can help us to maintain our skin health and also maintain the hydration on our skin. So that's why they have these anti-aging properties. Yeah. So besides, I also found out that some research also shows that they have this whitening effect for our beta carotene as well. Yeah. So these are the function for our beta carotene.
Okay. All right. So Dr. Nyam, you in your presentation, you actually explained a bit on palmitic acid. You shared something on palmitic acid. So
yeah,
it is also said that palmitic acid is comedogenic for skin. So is there any limit of palmitic acid composition in RPO which can be used as topical skincare? Is there any
since this red palm oil, the palmitic acid is used on our skin. So because our skin actually when we apply it on our skin, there's not 100% will absorb by our skin. So actually there is no issue how much of the palmitic acid as we have to apply on our skin. Yeah, so normally for our skin, we also have to depend what is the particle size of the skincare products that we apply. Yeah? So normally, if let's say without the nanotechnology, nano size, so actually the absorption rate is very low. So actually, I don't think there is an issue for the palmitic concentration on our skin.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you for answering all the queries that we had, and several questions were just like overlapping with each other. So before we end today's session, I would just like to give a couple of minutes to each of the panel to, just say a few words, sum up your presentation and the whole session for today. So can we start with Dr. Nurhaizan?
Okay, as you can see from my slide, we can get variety of carotenoid, and it can come from variety of foods. As we know that red palm oil, rich source of beta and alpha, but other carotenoid like lutein, zeaxanthin also have important role in our diet. So I'm a nutritionist. I'm always advise people or community to consume variety of food because to get all kind of carotenoid that have different effect or benefit to our health. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurhaizan. Dr. Tony?
I think consumer education is very important. We have to work together with the chefs and dietitians and how to prepare food with red palm oil to keep the character intact. It's like the VAL workshop we have now. They sell, in VAL workshop, they give several products, they got other free products. A lot of information given by the chef. So invite the chefs in, the dietitians in, how to prepare food with red palm oil to keep the character intact. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tony. Dr. Nyam?
Okay, so for the red palm oil, as I presented in the slides just now, they have a lot of the bioactive compounds. So this bioactive compound, actually, the study has shows that this compound, they have the effect on our skin and they have these anti-aging properties. So actually, it's good that for us to consume and also apply the skincare product that have this red palm oil as the ingredient. But what I know so far in Malaysia, I think we have quite limited products that actually have this red palm oil as the ingredient. So like in my slide, I only show the 3 commercialized products, but these 3 commercialized products are all from overseas, none from Malaysia. So I think in Malaysia, maybe like the MPOB, MPOC, maybe can explore more, try to investigate how to apply this red palm oil into this skincare products. So we know that they have all these bioactive compounds. Just I think maybe the issue now is just to have to maintain these bioactive compounds in the skincare products. So maybe we need some encapsulation technology and also the nanotechnology to help to maintain their bioactive compounds in our skincare products. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nyam. Very good points. We'll take that into note and with MPOC and also MPOB. Dr. Radhika?
Yeah, thank you. So from my presentation today, and as well as other speakers, we get to know that red palm oil is a rich source of phytonutrients such as tocotrienols, tocopherols, carotenoids, phytosterols, squalene, and coenzyme Q10, which are known to have various health-promoting properties. And red palm oil have been shown to have highly bioavailable beta-carotene and vitamin A, and is reasonably stable towards heat upon exposure, and without any adverse effect based on mutagenic nutritional studies as well as toxicological studies. So red palm oil is known to be effective to overcome vitamin A deficiency in children and pregnant women, as well as it can improve ocular complications related to vitamin A deficiency. So besides this palm oil, today I couldn't present much due to time constraint. So red palm oil is also known to have cardioprotective effects with regards to ischemic heart disease, anti-atherogenic activity, anti-hypertensive property, anti-cancer activity. It can aid chemotherapy management, ameliorates diabetes, but promotes normal reproduction, provides supports during hyperbaric hypoxia, and protects against infection. You can actually go to my Google Scholar and get more publication. And I would say try taking red palm oil and try it by yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Radhika. And we know that your research has not come to an end, Doctor. So we will try to invite you again in our next sessions in the future, so that we can share more insights. Okay, all right. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizer, Malaysian Palm Oil Council, I would like to thank all our distinguished speakers for their time in sharing great insights on today's topics. Our speakers who have actually, spent their time and sharing with us, Associate Professor Dr. Nurhaizan Muhammad Esa, Dr. Tony Ng, Associate Professor Dr. Nyam Karlin, Dr. Radhika Loganathan, thank you very much. And also not forgetting our participants for their attention throughout the webinar. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that our event today was viewed by more than 450 participants from Malaysia and abroad, because I saw a couple of participants coming from Bangladesh, India, Brunei, and also Philippines, all over the globe. So before we end, I just have a couple of informations and which I would like to announce. Okay, so to the participants, viewing of this session is still possible through our live feed via a Palm Oil TV YouTube channel, Palm Oil TV. It's our YouTube channel. So you may view it again, all the presentations, and you can also share it with your other contacts. That's one thing. And the first 3 presentations will be made available in our website, mpoc.org.my. We can't have Dr. Radhika's presentation because most of the data, everything is not, has not been completed yet. So the first 3 presentation, we will make it available in our website straight after this session. And next, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of you to our future event. The first one is a webinar, which will be held on 21st September from 3 to 4:30 Malaysian time, 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Malaysian time. And this is actually Malaysian palm oil in the Middle Eastern markets, trends and potential. So it covers the current market trends of palm oil consumption among consumers and the HoReCa sector in the Middle East. And the next webinar, which is just 1 week after, is scheduled on 28th September 2021. And this is going to be from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. Based on Malaysian time. And the title is actually Towards Digitalization of Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil. So this is going to be very exciting. It's going to be on digitalization of Malaysian sustainable palm oil. We will feature 5 distinguished experts on the field of industry digitalization. So don't forget to register yourself and be a part of this informative webinars coming your way. So with that, again, I would like to thank all our speakers on behalf of the organizer, Malaysian Palm Oil Council. And we hope the participants had a fruitful event, fruitful evening with all our information and which we have shared. And thanks again to all the speakers. And I hope that we can meet up again in our next webinar session. So everyone, thank you and take care. Thank you, Dr. Nohaizan. Thank you, Dr. Tony, Dr. Nyam, and Dr. Radhika. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you all the speakers. Thank you all the attendees. See you in our next event. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Dr. Nyam. Thank you, Dr. Radhika.